already somebody who had traveled to Russia. He did so again. So that's kind of
learned about Bruce
a red herring.
Top official at the Justice Department's wife was working for Fusion, brought onto Fusion's team for the Russian project, for the dossier project. We've learned that in the last several weeks.
Jim,
Peter Strzok,
Congressman,
the deputy head of counterintelligence at the FBI, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation, ran the Russian investigation.
I know you want to dwell on these facts. I know you want to dwell on the dossier. I know you want to dwell on the dossier, but the fact of the matter is there are two people in the Senate who are heading up the Intel investigation into this, Intel committee investigation. One of them is a Republican, who both say that parts of the dossier have been substantiated by officials. That's just,
and you know what
that's just a fact from them. That is not a fact from Katy Tur. That is a fact from them. But your guess, but that's the thing. You say my guess. You have no idea because you're not in on that committee.
You know what was corroborated?
Congressman, don't you want to know? Don't you want to know definitively?
McCabe's deposition a couple weeks ago. McCabe was deposed.
Don't you want to know definitively if there is something there?
McCabe was deposed,
rather than trying to stop yourself from finding out, because that's what it seems like you're doing.
Katie, they corroborated that Carter Page went to Russia. Okay, but what I'm talking about is all the other stuff that James Comey testified.
That's what Senators Byrne and Warner corroborated. You know that
was disproven. The disproven dossier is what James Comey said under oath when he was in front of Congress testifying.
Congressman,
so, okay, if you think a couple things in the dossier have been corroborated, fine. What I want to know is, was that dossier used to get a warrant?
I'm not on that committee. Do you know what's been corroborated?
No, that's what I believe was corroborated based on the reports. Based on the reports that press reports after Andrew McCabe testified in front of the Intel.
The press reports that you don't believe because they're being funded by the DNC? No. I mean, how do you believe some press reports and not other press reports?
Because I got common sense. For a year, we've talked about the dossier.
Common sense or just what you want to believe?
No, common sense, because 2 weeks ago, suddenly, pay no attention to the dossier. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. It's now this Papadopoulos. That was the real cause of the Russian. Are you kidding me? That is laughable. So I got common sense. I'm not going to buy this New York Times story 2 weeks ago. But
the
I am going
dossier
to look
was
at the facts,
originally
and I do
funded
have
by GOP donors. Are you conveniently forgetting that?
No, everyone knows that, but it was funded by the Clinton campaign, the DNC, when it was put together, and when money was given to Russians.
It doesn't matter that it was originally funded by the GOP. It only matters that the DNC or Hillary Clinton might have gotten involved at some point.
Even the Democrats have admitted that the dossier was funded by the DNC. That's what they paid for. Yeah, of course. The
dossier was started by GOP donors.
No, it wasn't. The opposition research originally was, but the dossier was funded by the DNC and the Clinton campaign, which we now know are one and the same.
Oh, Congressman Jim Jordan, I love having you on. I just wish we could have a conversation where I start out by asking a question and you answer the question, and then we can go on and talk about all the various things.
By the way, Katy,
that you want to talk about too.
I was reading part of your book the other night. We were in Barnes & Noble, and I saw that. And before I even knew I was coming on this week, I was actually reading the first part, the election night part. I was reading that portion of your book. Very interesting.
I'm
going to get the whole thing.
You like it?
I'm going to get the whole thing. Yeah, it was like 30% off at Barnes & Noble. I need to buy it and read it all.
I will send you a copy, Congressman.
Well, we look forward to it then.
Thank you very much for coming on. We always enjoy having you. Appreciate your time, sir. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
Congressman Jim